Live now with the details on what the jury heard about the raid on Josh Duggar's auto business. Cole.
Yeah, the trial is still going on in court behind me here right now. 6 witnesses were called to the stand today. We know that 2 of them were computer forensics experts that investigated some of the evidence that was presented in this case. Now, the jury got a detailed look and description into how that evidence was seized and investigated. The computer forensics experts testified that as they were going through the HP computer taken from wholesale motor cars where Duggar worked, dozens of images and videos depicting sexually explicit material of minors were found. Prosecutors also questioned the experts about the Tor browser, which gives the user access to the dark web and to remain anonymous while doing so. A special agent testified that he led the search at wholesale motor cars and confiscated evidence such as the HP computer that was in the office, a laptop, an iPhone, and thumb drives. However, an investigator in charge of reviewing the contents of the electronics testified that evidence of child pornography was only located on that HP computer, not in any of the other ones, which led the defense to argue that someone else could have downloaded that material onto the HP computer, not Duggar. Now, we also heard from a couple other witnesses in this case. Duggar, again, is charged with 1 count of receipt of child pornography and 1 count of possession of child pornography. Of course, he faces up to 20 years in prison and $250,000 on each count if convicted. We're live in Fayetteville. Cole Zimmerman, 4029 News.
Day 2 of the Josh Duggar child pornography trial. New evidence was brought forward revealing child sexual abuse material found on the office computer where Duggar worked. We have 4029's Kendall Ashman, who sat in on that courtroom case today. She joins us live now in Fayetteville with the latest details.
Well, Brandon, dozens of images and videos depicting child sexual abuse material were both shown and described to the jury today. An investigator testifying that those images were found on an HP computer at Duggar's work. HP office computer from wholesale motor cars is seen here, being brought into court as evidence today. A computer forensics investigator testified that the computer was the only electronic that obtained the sexual explicit material. He explains that this computer had 2 operating systems. The investigator testified that the second operating system had a browser called Tor, which allows users to access the browser anonymously. He then testified that through Tor, videos and photos of minors were later downloaded onto the computer between May 14th through 16th of 2019. In total today, 6 witnesses were called to the stand, including a former employee who testified that he had access to the HP office computer, but he testified that he couldn't recall the passcode to the computer. And the former reality TV star is charged with 1 count of receipt of child pornography and 1 count of possession. Now, if he's convicted on both counts, he does face up to 20 years in prison and fines of up to $250,000 on each count. Now, court is in session tomorrow here at the courthouse at 8:30. We're live in Fayetteville. I'm Kendall Ashman, 4029 News.